Father, we do thank you for this day. God, we thank you for your guidance and your wisdom in our lives. Lord, we ask that you be with this meeting tonight. Lord, I pray that you will give these men and ladies wisdom and guidance, Lord, in regards to our city and our town. And Lord, thank you for your love and your mercy in our lives. It's your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Larry Bud.
Here.
Sean Bertle.
Here.
Ernie Dorchenez.
Here.
Bob Pepperly.
Here.
Bruce Jones.
Here.
Ray Coons. Martin Boda.
Here.
Earl Walters. Here.
All 8 aldermen present. Okay, we have a motion to utilize the omnibus vote for
Second.
approval of the minutes, previous minutes listed on tonight's agenda under the title omnibus vote designation. We have a motion by Alderman Dorchenez, second by Alderman Jones. Discussion or comment? Hearing none, roll call.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Ernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Bob Pepperly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coons.
Yes.
Martin Boda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
The motion passes 8-0. Okay, the minutes we'll be approving are the minutes of the regular meeting held March 17th, 2014. Minutes of the Cemetery Board of Managers held March 18th, 2014. Minutes of the Finance Committee meeting held March 20th, 2014. Minutes of the Ordinance Committee meeting held March 20th, 2014. Minutes of the Street and Sewer Committee meeting held March 27th, 2014. And minutes of the Emergency Services Committee meeting held April 3rd, 2014. I'd entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved, Your Honor.
Alderman Walters, can second.
Second.
Alderman Bud, discussion or comment? Hearing none, roll call.
Ernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Bob Pepperly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coons.
Yes.
Martin Boda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Next, we have a resolution for improvement by municipality under the Illinois Highway Code to utilize MFT funds for the Cherokee Street, Pawnee Street project.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor, speak to the issue.
Alderman Walters, second by Alderman Kuntz. Discussion. Go ahead, Alderman Walters.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. It's our intent to try to get this project moving as soon as possible so that we can work with the school district and have these improvements done before school starts in the fall of this year.
Alderman Bud.
And I will be abstaining from this since it's in front of my house.
Okay. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Bob Pepperly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coons.
Yes.
Martin Boda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Abstain.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Ernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Motion passes 7 in favor with 1 abstention. Okay, next we have a resolution. This will be the intergovernmental agreement between the city and the city of Charleston.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to table that.
Okay.
Second.
Second by Alderman Jones. Roll call, please.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coons.
Yes.
Martin Boda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Ernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Bob Pepperly.
Yes.
Okay, motion is tabled.
If I could speak to that, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Excuse my voice. I've been in court all afternoon. I lost my voice. But it was my recommendation to Alderman Bertle that we table that. I'd like the fire chief to communicate with the Charleston folks because I think the way this is drafted, they're probably subject to the Fair Debt Credit Protection Act. We want to make sure, maybe add a sentence or two, that they will comply with that, because ultimately the city's responsible if you have someone else collect your debt for you. That's the issue. So it doesn't expire until the end of the month. That'll give us a couple of weeks to address that issue.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next we have the resolution. This is regarding the Daniel Ream agreement. He's our new dumpster attendant.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Alderman Walters. Second by Alderman Heberling. Discussion or comment?
Your Honor, I have a quick suggestion. This is apparently an agreement that you've done in prior years. I ask you to turn to the paragraph 15 of that contract. At the very end, it says that either side can give a 30-day notice to terminate, and if it is, that does not relieve Mr. Ream from the obligations of paragraph 9. I think that should say paragraph 14. That's the hold harmless and indemnity paragraph. 9 refers to something that wouldn't make much sense.
Okay.
So I would suggest modifying your motion accordingly.
Okay.
I'll amend my motion, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Heberling, you amend your
Yes.
second. Additional discussion? Roll call, please.
Ray Coontz?
Yes.
Martin Voda?
Yes.
Earl Walters?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Sean Bertle?
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Rob Heatherling?
Yes.
Bruce Jones?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
City attorney is really all over this stuff tonight.
He's
I'm
good.
telling you, he must have
He's
been-
good.
I've been fired up all day.
Next, we have an ordinance. This is regarding the annexation of the Shanks property located at 1430 West Sunset Drive. Entertain a motion.
Make that motion, Your Honor.
Alderman Walters,
Second.
second by Alderman Bertle. Discussion or comment?
Comment, Your Honor.
Go ahead with the comment.
I did call the city clerk today to confirm the reason for the annexation of this property. It appears, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the owners of the property who recently purchased the property are wanting to bring city water to this property. Is that correct? So
my
we're not
understanding.
annexing because of any other reason other than they are pursuing this. And for those who did not have the opportunity to locate where that property is at, I do have some shots if they want to see that that's and they're more than welcome to ask me to pass them to them.
Anyone else?
I would also add, gentlemen, that you'll note in that particular ordinance form, it does not annex the Hunt Road, which I was informed is a private road as opposed to a public highway. So those folks will still be responsible to maintain that particular lane. Okay.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Martin Voda?
Yes.
Earl Walters?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Sean Bertle?
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Rob Heatherling?
Yes.
Bruce Jones?
Yes.
Ray Coontz?
Yes.
And the mayor votes on this ordinance,
And
please.
the
I
mayor.
vote yes. Motion passes 9-0. Okay, the next two motions, what I'd like to do is hold those. We'll be approving the special events permit later on, and we'll come back and get those after that's voted on. Okay, so let's go to a motion regarding the property located at 803 East Franklin Street.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor, and speak to the issue.
Okay, can we get a second?
We need to know what the motion is.
Okay.
We need to know what the motion is.
For-
Regarding, because, and where are you going to head with this? That's what we kind of put it on there for, so you can make that decision.
Okay. So the motion, that's the property that we are now, because previously we thought there would be a lien against it, but that's been dropped. So now that allows us to go ahead and take control of that property so that we, with the intent to demolish it.
Demolish the building, yes.
So I guess we're looking for a motion to move forward with that, and whatever requirements we have to get, we would go through the city attorney. So a motion to have the city attorney prepare the proper documents to allow us to go ahead with the demolition. Does that sound good?
A motion, Your Honor?
May I?
It's pretty good. Not bad.
Well, actually, the deed's already been done by the title company. After they released the information, the lien that was on it. So then they released that, and then they went ahead and drew up the deed for us that we could have Mr. Craig sign if he is still willing to deed it over to the city. And then from my understanding, then I just need to record it, and it's ours.
It's ours to do what we want.
Is that correct?
Sounds like it.
Could it be
Okay.
that simple?
So
Yeah.
what do we need to vote on there? Just to go ahead and
Motion
sign the
to
agreement?
Go forward to obtain the ownership
Obtain the
of the
property.
property and demolish it. But because you're going to be spending
We might have to do
quite a bit
a
of money.
simple ordinance just to ratify that transaction, but I think it is a simple process.
Okay.
So you were correct at the beginning, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I have a motion by Alderman Walters. I need a second on that motion.
Second.
Alderman Bertle. And this is to go ahead and take possession of the property and then move forward with the demolition, so.
And then, Your Honor, this is another property that we're, there's a long list of many of them within the city limits of Taylorville that we're trying to take possession of in some manner or another to try to demolish. And we've had requests from citizens over the years all throughout Taylorville for these types of properties. We have a limited amount of resources to do this with, but I'm hoping that we can continue with some money in the budget that we're working on now to try to get some of the worst of these properties acquired by the city and torn down.
Okay. Any other comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz. Martin Voda.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Brings us to city attorney updates.
I asked the city clerk to put in your packet this evening some copy of emails going back and forth with OBIZ's attorney and myself. Also given you a couple of pages of the Blue Cross Blue Shield document for which you are obligated to comply with. The reason I did that is to kind of explain what happened. As you recall, you approved the transfer of the brokerage for your Blue Cross Blue Shield broker to the OBIZ.
CBIZ?
CBIZ.
CBIZ, excuse me. I did that all the time. With Mr. Jablonski. And when I got to looking at the documents, 6 and 7 actually obligated you on the prior time to make sure any broker, they have to sign this confidentiality agreement. And if you look at the agreement that I drafted, it pretty much mirrors what Blue Cross Blue Shield said that you have to do. And I simply made it that if for some reason the CBIZ inadvertently or what have you violate HIPAA, we have to hold Blue Cross Blue Shield harmless. I'm asking CBIZ to hold us harmless and identify us for their own mistakes. That's what that was all about. You can see I got a little bit, hopefully tactfully firm. We didn't budge, and they ended up signing exactly what we ended to do, so we're okay. I think the mayor signed off on the 4 different companies, and it's out there. We have nothing in place from your, what was it, the Linden Group? The prior one, they
Right.
apparently didn't sign one, and they probably won't sign one. So, but at least going forward, you've got the proper confidentiality agreement. You're ready to move forward. So I think we're in good shape. And I thank Cindy Brown for her help, and of course the mayor when we went through this. I might have wore Cindy out a little bit, but she
did a good
stayed up
job.
right there with me. She swears I did, but anyway. I want to report to you on the 3 properties that we've taken to court with Mr. Calvert. We've been there twice. The first time there was substantial progress, and George, correct me, I got my back to you, to where he was happy. At that point in time, he's been taking photographs, filed with the court. 2 weeks, we gave him another 2 weeks, and he's telling me tonight that he's not happy with the progress that's made, so we have another court hearing, and we'll go from there. These are these junk properties that we're trying to clean up for you. I think that is it, unless you want to just briefly touch on a visit with about the fire truck.
Okay, yeah, I've asked Rocky, this is in regards to preventing us from doing anything that would violate the Open Meetings Act, and so I'll let him hit on it briefly, but there's a lot of questions with this and a lot of things that we think are wrong. It really ties our hands quite a bit, I think. So we all have opinions on it, so there's a lot of what ifs we could ask Rocky. I don't want to waste a half hour of this meeting asking them, so I'm going to let him briefly address it, and if you have questions, you can talk to him afterwards individually.
Yeah, and the question is, and this is what's unfair to you guys, you're wanting to spend several $100,000, or whatever the number is, for a new fire truck. And apparently, there's some kind of an exhibit over in Indiana going to take place that some of you want to go there and visit and see and ask questions about the fire truck and the prices and compare and so on and so forth. The question that was posed to me is, can aldermen go there as a group to make those kind of observations and questions? And I think the answer simply is going to be no, because of the Open Meetings Act. It's unfair interpretation. I did ask the city clerk, and she did, speak with the Attorney General's office. Was what we thought the answer was, and they're pretty insistent that is the answer. The general rule is, guys, is that if you're a majority of a quorum, if you're going to meet on public business, you got to go through this public Open Meetings Act with an agenda and actually have a meeting at a place that's accessible to the public at a reasonable point in time. And by making a trip over to Indiana, it's probably not going to fit that thing. So, in other words, if you got a 4-man committee, if 2 of you on the same committee, I mean, a quorum of the committee would be 3, and a majority of that quorum is 2. That means 2 aldermen in the same committee cannot go together on public business. It's a violation. When you take in terms of the city council, a quorum is 5, a majority is 3. But the way you folks have structured yourself, for good reasons, is that many of you are on the same committees. And so then you're never going to really get out of those catchings of the Open Meetings Act. So it puts you at a binder. So talk to me afterwards. If one of you goes with 2 or 3 firemen in your own vehicle, the other one goes in another vehicle with 2 or 3 firemen, and when you get there, you don't meet, you don't talk, you're just on your own, I think you might be okay. But it really ties your hand, and I don't think that's really what the purpose of the Open Meetings Act should be, because you want to get information and come back so you can intelligently discuss in an open forum in a meeting what you found out and what's the pros and cons of buying a piece of equipment. So it's not fair, but that's what the rules we've got to live by. Question, Mr. Coons.
Just a suggestion, Mr. Mayor, considering that
Mr. Budd is the finance chair and Mr. Bertle is the emergency services chair. They don't serve on that same committee. So being that they're the main ones that are going to have to deal with the finances and all that stuff, they'd be okay if they went, if they're not on the same committee.
But they are.
But they are.
They are on.
We are.
On finance.
That's where the rub comes in, because you guys have,
Never mind.
okay, so it's not, as I said, it's just that
Okay.
something needs to be changed, I think.
Alderman Jones.
No particular question, don't want to drag this out. Never in history has 2 been a majority of 4. You said
But it's of a quorum.
Quorum.
Majority of a
It's a
quorum.
majority of a quorum.
majority of a quorum.
4, a quorum is 3, a majority of 3 is 2.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Well, you said it differently when you came through on your first one. You said a
Were you
majority,
paying attention?
majority of the committee, and then you said a quorum of the committee. So you said it 2 different ways, but never has 2 been a majority of 4.
But we're not
But
gonna
it is
Two is
majority of a
3,
quorum.
which is a quorum.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay. Anything else for the city attorney?
Maybe I'll pass something out to you.
You've been asked this before, just so we're clarified, on East Vine, that building, we can't find an owner to and all that kind of stuff, that's burn out, that burn up, and do you have any more information on that one?
Not this evening, I don't know. But George is on me, rest assured.
All right. Let's move on to mayor updates. I've just got a couple quick things here. I guess the big thing for the city that's going to be coming up here in the next month or two will be a probable, very probable increase in water rates. And we can't give specifics tonight yet, but it will be coming up in the very near future. It's something that no one enjoys doing, but we have to finance that new water plant, which we have to have. And we've got to have funding for that and revenue for that. And unfortunately, it's going to come down to all the citizens to chip in on that through increased rates. And it's going to happen fairly quickly within the next couple of months here. So we want to try and be upfront with everyone. We're going to meet later this week at the Water Committee and discuss it further. And then we'll probably have more specifics. But that's coming down the pipeline, and we want to give the citizens as much notice as we can. Quickly on the Alstrom issue, as far as the noise, talked to them last week, and they've made some adjustments to the equipment there that they believe will handle that noise situation probably 90% of the time. Now that leaves 10% of the time when it's not going to handle the situation. And I asked them the question: I says, does this mean you're done, or are you still looking for answers? They are still pursuing an answer that's going to take care of the other 10%. The problem is it may take a little while longer because it's very intensive, very expensive on their part. Involves taking down the complete stack and redoing work too. So it's going to take some time. So they're definitely trying to do something. Now don't take, again, they are themselves going to put out a press release or something in the near future that's going to explain this. So I don't want to misspeak. I might be misspeaking, so I don't want to take that chance. But again, they're trying to address the situation. They think they've done a lot. I talked to Alderman Budd briefly, and he says he's had phone calls from some people, and it's definitely better than it was. Not good yet. It's still, at least once a week it seems like there's a night or something where it's extremely noisy. But that's the situation as it stands now. Alderman Budd, you want to comment quickly on it?
Yes, I do. Saturday night and Sunday night of this weekend, it was loud again. A week ago, it seems like Sunday nights is their best night, for whatever reason. And I appreciate them at least making some changes to the equipment. But the problem is the loud noise is still there. And the people living in that neighborhood are still having to live with that. And you can't sleep. And I can hear it from my house, and I'm, 6 blocks away, at least. Now, when the trees get the leaves on it, will I hear it? I don't know if it'll deaden some of that noise or not. But the problem is still there with the loud noise, that drone-type noise. And it's just, the people are having a difficult time over in that neighborhood. And Alstrom was here the middle of December, and they keep telling us, giving them the benefit of the doubt, they have made some changes. But they keep telling us they're working on the problem, and how long can you just sit there and say you're working on the problem? It's very aggravating to me to hear that.
Mr. Mayor?
Alderman Heberly.
I've given this a lot of thought, and that isn't in my ward, but I really think that we need to start doing some things, and there are some things that we can do. I think that if we would refer this to a particular committee, and I don't know if it'd be finance or ordinance, but I really think we need to set up a sound study. Find out what the noise level is now. Along the way, find out what the noise level used to be. Find out what the noise level was that the EPA was trying to moderate. I don't know if we have ever known what that figure was. And then from there, develop some benchmarks so that in the future we can really have something to rely upon. But perhaps what we need to do also is to start having a discussion on annexation. Do it in such a way to where it doesn't harm Ostrom financially, but do it in such a way that we can have some control over an effect that is adversely affecting the residents down in that area. I mean, we can prorate things, we can rebate things to where they don't have to take a big financial hit, but I think it's time to start having that kind of discussion. Everyone says we can't do anything now. Well, we can't. But if we start talking about annexation and doing it in a responsible way, we don't want to drive them out of town. But perhaps then we can effect a good solution to this thing. We've been waiting patiently now for about 6 months. Is probably the last 10% is going to be more difficult to control than that first 90%. So I wouldn't have any hope that 10% remaining is going to be cured anytime soon. But I would like for some committee to take this up as far as a sound study and get that thing rolling, whether we have to spend $2,500 or $5,000, but we need a good sound study on what is causing the problem down there, what is affecting those residents down there.
Alderman Coons.
I just want to agree with both aldermen on their comments, and I live a block away, and I'm one, like I said before, I'm one of the people that has to sit there and listen to that in the middle of the night, and so whatever we can do, I agree with Mr. Heberling, and I agree with Alderman Budd. It's just we'd like to have more information other than just we're working on it. That seems kind of cold and to the point to a lot of our constituents that we're working on it. Get out of my hair is basically how they feel when they hear that. And if it's going to take time, that's fine. But I think more information or more detailed information is more apropos for our constituents. Thanks.
All right. The only other thing I have is just a reminder to all the aldermen, is the Finance and Ordinance Committee, we're going to change the date from Thursday the 17th to Tuesday, April 15th. We've got an individual coming to address us on some financing issues, and Tuesday he can make it, so we're going to change the date of the meetings to Tuesday, April 15th. That's all I got. Let's move on to committee reports. Discussions and or motions to approve, adopt, and or deny, and or table, and or amend, and or refer to an appropriate committee in whole or in part the matters regarding the following subject matters discussed at the committee level. We start off with cemetery.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The first motion that came out of the Taylorville Board of Manager meeting was a motion to purchase from Sloan Implement a new 750 lawn tractor with a price of $9,530.56, including a trade-in of a 2008 740 lawn tractor of $2,595, making the purchase price $6,935.56, with the money coming from the Perpetual Care Fund interest.
Okay. Can I get a second on that?
Second.
Alderman Heberling. Discussion or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Sean Bertle?
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Rob Heberling?
Yes.
Bruce Jones?
Yes.
Ray Coontz?
Yes.
Martin Voda?
Yes.
Earl Walters?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
The second motion was to accept the submitted bid from LaGrange Monument Works to have all 4 Memorial Canyon bases replaced at an amount not to exceed $43,200. with the money coming from the perpetual care fund interest. And I'd like to make that in form of motion with the comment.
Okay, you have a second on that
Second
motion?
comment.
Evelyn, go ahead with your comment first. Alderman Bertle?
I didn't receive any phone calls on this motion. It's a large amount of money, so if there's any questions about this, the reason initially we thought we'd do two, maybe this year, and wait either till next year or the following year to do the other two. But the concern was that the price would go up, and/or maybe the granite would not match two bases from the other two bases. So there is enough money in the perpetual care fund interest account to cover all four bases. There's no design change. They're going to look identical to the way they look now, other than they're going to be made out of a different type of material, it'll be granite instead of the concrete and block bases. And we've had a local resident step forward to donate time and material to professionally paint the cannons once they're off of there, and then they'll be replaced by the monument company. So if you have any questions, I think Mr. Newberry passed out a packet with some detailed drawings and pictures on it, so if you have any other questions, just let me know.
Alderman Heberlin?
Just a question. What is the typical yearly interest return on the perpetual?
You know, I'm going to refer that to Bill. I don't know if he has it off the top of his head. I put you on the spot, Bill, but do you know what it is yearly?
Yearly, you know, in good times, it was up to 40 to 50,000 a year, and it's been averaging about 28 to 30 a year.
So this might be a 2-year interest. It might take 2 years' worth of interest to cover. Okay, thank you.
Alderman Voda?
Just to follow up on Alderman Bertle's individual who's offered to help subsidize some of the costs associated with this, I think it's only right to give Rick Champlin and Lisa, his wife, the proper recognition by name. This is a substantial amount of money that they're going to be in time that they're going to be investing. Actually, in the minutes it states, have taken personal interest in the project, have volunteered to donate the supplies and his labor to sandblast and paint the memorial cannon blocks. That is a substantial amount of money, time, and effort, and I think they need to be recognized personally for their time and their dedication to the city of Taylorville. So thank you.
Any other comments? Alderman Coons, and I'll go back to him.
Alderman Bertle, just for the record, since the media's here and stuff, the 43,000, that for people who don't know, that can only be used for certain things, correct? As far as perpetual care interest.
Well, the city's not allowed to actually spend the perpetual care fund.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that.
Yeah, so that we're only allowed to spend the interest, so anything that we buy for the cemetery out of that fund has to come from the interest only.
Right, I just want people to be aware that we can't use it for roads or other things like that.
Alderman
Well, I just
Bertle?
want to make a comment about the donation. I mean, Rick actually told me not to mention his name, so I didn't for a reason.
Thanks, Martin.
But he also said that we didn't have to keep it a secret necessarily,
Sure.
but he wasn't really looking for any kind of
Sure.
kudos. But he actually got a manufacturer to donate the paint that's actually going on the cannon. It's
That's great.
kind of a high dollar grade paint, so I'd like to give him kudos too. I mean, it's a big step.
Well, we can now.
Yeah.
City's
Mr.
right.
Mayor, I would ask that that motion include subject to the execution of the city's customary contract. Okay.
All right, if there's no other comments, take a roll call.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz. Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
All right, the next motion that came out of the meeting was a motion to remove the memorial block bushes. I'd like to make that in form of a motion.
Good. You got a second on that?
Second.
Alderman Bud, discussion or comment?
Comment, Your Honor. Are we going to do that work ourselves? Is that going to be hired out, or are we doing that in-house?
Do it in-house.
Okay.
Okay. Roll call, I guess.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
Last motion that came out of the meeting was motion to send a revised version of the fiscal 2014-2015 cemetery budget to the Finance Committee. I'd like to make that in form of a motion.
Okay. Get a second on that?
Second.
Alderman Bud, discussion or comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? The motion passes. Moves us to Finance Committee.
Thank you, Your Honor. First item is a motion to approve the Sam Taylor Facade Grant application for the Best for Less at 102 West Market Street for $4,977.80. Make that in form of a motion.
Okay, you have a second on that?
Second.
Second by Alderman Bertle. Discussion or comment? Roll call, please.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
A motion to approve the Sam Taylor Facade Fund for the application for Advanced Title Group at 101 South Washington for $7,500 pending completion of the project in amount varying with the submission of all paid receipts. Make that form of motion.
Second.
Second by Alderman Bertle. Discussion or comment? Roll call, please.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
Okay, a motion to retain KMRM, a division of Diamond Brothers Insurance Agency for the city's property, equipment, general liability, automotive, pollution liability, storage tank, environmental, and impairment insurance. Make that in form of motion.
Second.
Second by Alderman Bertle. Discussion or comment? Roll call, please.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
Okay. For the next items, a motion to utilize the omnibus vote for the approval of the following 9 motions to forward the annual budgets to the various city departments to the city treasurer for further refinement. Those,
Second, Your Honor.
Okay. Motion by Alderman Bud, second by Alderman Walters. Discussion or comment? Roll call.
Excuse me, I'm getting lightheaded.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes 8-0.
Okay, do I need to make another motion for that, on that second, on that part
Well,
of that?
now we just need a motion, and then you go ahead and read the list of what we are approving, and we can just do it all in one vote that way.
A motion to forward the following department budgets to the city treasurer for further refinement. Listed below are the FY 2014-2015 street department, sewer department, garbage budget, motor fuel tax, water, lake, airport, HBO, and police.
Okay.
Make that in form of motion.
All right, can you get a second on that?
Second.
Alderman Heberling, discussion or comment? Roll call, please.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
John Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling. Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
Okay, the next motion I'd like to table.
Okay.
Second.
Second by Alderman Bertle.
Just a wise man.
Roll call, please.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
Okay, the next motion to approve the expenditure procedure for superintendents, committee chairman, and the mayor as listed in the finance committee minutes. Make that in form of motion.
Okay.
Second.
Second by Alderman Bertle. Discussion or comment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alderman Walters.
I discussed this briefly with the city clerk as well as with Chairman Bud. The second one should be for any city-related expenditure between $500 and $1,250.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, any other comments? Roll call, please.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Bring us to ordinance committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We had one motion to direct the city attorney to prepare an ordinance regarding abandoned building public nuisance as presented. I'd like to make that motion.
Okay, get a second?
Second.
Alderman Bertle, discussion or comment? Roll call, please.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
Our other motion was to adopt the special events permit, which you all have in front of you tonight. I'd like to make that motion, and we can adopt the rest of the special events permits on the following list of motions
Good.
And the application form.
and the application form.
Okay. So we have a motion by Alderman Jones. I need a second. Alderman Voda. Discussion or comment?
Yes, please. It should be looking at one that we did change down at the bottom on the left-hand side, that we added a line
Signatures.
with city official
Yes.
underneath it. And because that's not what was approved at the committee meeting, but we added that afterwards, when you're at your committee meeting and you're going through, and whoever the chairman is, you're check marking it, that way you guys can sign it when it comes to my office.
I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, I forgot to put that in there.
Okay. So, motion to adopt the special event permit and the application as presented here tonight.
As presented tonight.
It's got the footnote of 32614 on it.
Why's that?
Has a footnote of 32614.
Correct. Okay. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz. Yes. Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Tom Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
The motion passes 8-0. All right, Alderman Jones, you want to go ahead with the other two events, or you want me to read them?
Well, we can go back to the front, yes. Since those came out of the Lake and Airport, I'd like for Alderman
Voda?
Voda.
That was so kind of you. Thank you very much.
I'm that kind of guy.
These were tabled from last city council meeting due to the fact we did not have the proper documentation approved yet. So we'll go ahead and what I would like to do is with the city attorney here, that we have not yet utilized these documents, so we can maybe walk through the first one together as a group so we all understand exactly.
I'll go ahead and make the motions if we're going to do that.
You may, and then I'll
No,
call
go
you at
ahead.
9 o'clock tonight when we're going through another one.
No, go ahead.
Okay, and I believe Mr. Walters has got some that he's already done in his committee that we're going to be looking at here in a few minutes. But just to be certain that everybody understands, I was hoping that the city attorney could walk us through maybe the first one. I don't think there's a whole lot after looking through it that we shouldn't be able to understand. But the first one is for the EAA Chapter 1315 Fly-In, Drive-In Breakfast and the Young Eagles Rally. We've got 3 of those on the one permit. Sunday, May 18th, 2014, from 7 to 11. Sunday, July 20th, 2014, 7 to 11. And Sunday, September 21st, 2014, 7 to 11. It's going to be at the Taylorville Airport at the main hangar. I believe, gentlemen, from what I'm understanding, that when these get to the committee for approval, that we'll go to the page that is stapled to the front at this time and identify what we're going to require those organizations to present to us, if anything. Is that correct?
That is correct, and with respect to looking at the certificate of insurance that is attached,
Yes.
it would be appropriate that you would mark X's in paragraph 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, and with that...
And then put an X up at the top where it says the application is approved.
Okay.
And then I think what Pam is asking is that someone of the committee sign that, so when she gets it, she knows she's got the authority to issue the permit.
Yeah, I will. As a matter of fact, I'll just sign this one this evening and hand it to you if we get this approved. I just wanted to make sure everybody was on board with the process, because I was unfamiliar with it when it came to the committee to start with. So, Your Honor, I will go ahead and make that in the form of a motion to approve that application for special events use permit.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Alderman Heberling, discussion or comment? Roll call, please.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz. Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
Okay, gentlemen, the other one that came, was tabled from last meeting was the second one in your package, the William Walter Catch a Fish Day. It's going to be held at the Kiwanis Park in West Taylorville. That is scheduled for May 3rd from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. with a rain date of May 4th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And again, I believe this being on city property, are we requiring them to pursue a separate insurance for this, or will our liability cover anything that happens, Mr. Attorney?
What was attached to the application that I saw was they gave you a copy, apparently. Is it the Accord, Pam? That's the one? This must be a national type organization.
No.
No.
Who's
No, I
Accord?
don't have anything on
This is the William Walter Catch a Fish Day.
I understand, but there's
It's just a local guy who's trying to raise some money for charity.
That was attached, Mr. City Attorney, to the first one that we discussed.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You got 2 of them then. Gotcha. Well, this is a business question for you. If you have them sign none of these things, they're still obligated to release the city and to hold you harmless. Now, the question is, what's the value of that promise? That's why you have the insurance. But if this is a, one-time afternoon, local fellow, you may not think that you want to require that kind of policy. That's up to you guys.
So we can waive this if we want.
Yes. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on this is additional stuff. You do this on a case-by-case basis.
And if I may comment, I don't want to make this so complicated that whenever somebody comes to us
Right.
requesting the opportunity to either do a fundraiser, or in this case, it's a benefit, basically to help children,
Yeah.
that we're going to make it so cumbersome to get the approvals for both us and for that individual,
Yeah.
that they're going to say, we don't want to do anything in the city of Taylorville anymore.
Right.
And I want to be very cautious on how we approach these things.
Right.
And we've done this, 4 or 5 years now, and I believe we've never had them required to show any indication of insurance or anything. We basically wrote on the shirt tails of the city's liability if something were to happen.
Correct, and you don't need to do it now.
Okay, and that, I think that's,
The only thing I would caution you on this last one, on this one, just make sure the applications do get notarized. And what that means is the person who signs it on behalf of the organization is representing that they are doing so with the approval of the entity. So if you ever had to go back and call in that promise of hold harmless indemnity, it is designed so that to defeat a claim that, well, we didn't agree to it, we don't know who this person is that signed it.
okay, with that statement, can we utilize the city clerk as the?
No, I would not
Okay,
recommend
That's what I
that.
want to clarify, because.
Would
we're
not
gonna-
recommend
another-
that, because
another
what you're
facility.
doing is, the city clerk, you're putting her or her office, is if there is a lawsuit, then actually she has to get up and swear
And
on
that
their
was
side.
One of the things I wanted to make sure we all
Yeah, I
understood.
never recommend that
Exactly.
you should notarize the other side's documents.
She can swear with the best of them.
Well, I've heard her, she does a real fine job with that.
Okay, so before these, we're actually actively, an active legal document, we have to have them signed under a
Notary.
notary.
And the notary's already there. It's just a fill in the blank form. It's right underneath your signature on page 2.
Oh, okay. But I'm saying the individual has to take
Yeah, and-
this to a notary somewhere.
Yeah, they can go to the local bank or credit union and they do it for nothing, so.
Okay, I'm
Not a
good.
big deal.
Alderman Walters.
One further comment. I think whether we waive the requirements or not, all of them need to be notarized,
Absolutely.
every single one.
Because if you look at the other side, on page 1 of that, paragraphs 1, 2, and 3 actually applies to everybody. And that means we're going to release the city, we're going to hold you harmless, and we're going to comply with all your city code provisions. The page 3 that you see is if you want to back that promise up and make them get an insurance policy, then you start filling in these blanks. And you decide that on a case-by-case.
Okay,
Okay?
well, thank you. That's all the questions I have.
And I would ask on these first 2 that you've just approved here, is that if you could ask the city clerk to be sure that these folks can come in and get them notarized, so you got something of record
No, it was-
on both permits.
Just one
All right.
question. So you're saying that we should not have a city notary?
Absolutely not,
Okay.
No.
absolutely not. And
And if they've already been notarized?
I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
We learn.
Well, and, I mean, that's why the question, I threw that question.
It's a good question, it's a good question,
And
because
I'm thinking, we're basically putting a stamp on something that,
you're vouching
come
for
back
the
and
other
bite us.
side's credibility, you're vouching that they are doing it free and voluntarily, that they do have the authority, and we don't want to be in that position.
so on these 2 documents I just, or we're approving right now.
Is subject to them signing the notary.
Okay. All righty, well, I'll make this one to a formal
Motion.
motion also, Your Honor.
Okay, can I get a second on that motion?
Second.
Alderman Heberlin. Discussion or comment? Hearing none, roll call.
Ray Coons.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Terry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Ray Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Moving on to Street and Sewer Committee.
Thank you, Your Honor. Make a motion to approve the request of Taylorville High School Band Boosters for a charitable fund drive for Band Tag Day at the corner of West Main Cross and Webster Street to be held Friday, June the 27th, 2014, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday, June the 28th, 2014, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., subject to the approval of special events permit application at the April the 7th City Council meeting. And I do have those forms here with me that have been signed and also notarized.
Second.
Second by Alderman Heberlin. Additional, go ahead.
Are we going to be required to put the approved amended form with Mr. Walter's signature on it, or are we going to accept the ones that we have in our package?
Well, the original will be the one turned into the city clerk's office.
Right, we can have him sign.
I'll just sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just sign
All right.
it.
Okay.
I got a question for you. The one I've got on the back side of it has got a different form where TH Band is agreeing to provide insurance.
Well, that's what we have required anytime they stood at the corner.
Okay.
So now, this one's different than the other ones. They're fishing and other things. This one's actually standing at the corner, Harrison's Corner, and we've always required a certificate of insurance. Now, this is the old application, though, keep in mind.
Well, if you want to go with the old application, the same dollar amount, go to page 3 and put an X on the paragraph 6 where it says other, and just say C attached. And then we'll go business as usual. They got to wear a vest, they've got to, yada yada, what they've got in the first 5 paragraphs. So C attached application for charitable fund drive. And that'll take care of that.
All right, we have a motion by Alderman Walters,
See how
second
easy
by
this is?
Alderman Heberlin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes.
Next question I'd like to make is to approve the request of the United Ways for a charitable fund drive at the corner of Webster and Main on Friday, May the 16th, 2014, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Saturday, May the 17th, 2014, from 9 a.m. to noon, subject to the approval of special events application at the April the 7th City Council meeting. And along with that, I want to make a change on the street circulating minutes themselves. I left out of the United Way. So after the word, in the second sentence, it says approve the request, it should say of the United Way for charitable fund drive. And I do have the form on that one also.
Okay. So a motion by Alderman Walters. Can I get a second? Second. Alderman Coons. Discussion or comment? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes.
Next motion is the motion to approve the Taylorville Main Street Incorporated 2014 calendar events subject to the approval of the special events permit application at this April the 7th City Council meeting.
And I think you want to put an X on 1, 2, and 3, because they've already got their certificate attached.
Right, 1, 2, and 3.
All right, can I get a second on that motion?
Second.
Alderman Heberlin. Discussion or comment?
Comment.
Go ahead with your comment.
On their list of events, they have a pork chop fundraiser on April 17th, which I have tickets here for, if anybody's interested.
There are good pork chops there.
Yes, they are.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes.
I'd like to make a motion to proceed with new lighting for the street department shop at a cost of $7,054.39, accepting the Ameren rebate of $1,887 with a balance of $5,167.39 taken from the building maintenance line item.
Okay. Get a
Second.
Second by Alderman Heberlin. Discussion or comment? Roll call, please.
Martin Voda,
Yes.
Earl Walters,
Yes.
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Ralph Heberlin,
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
We've already addressed this next one. The motion was to approve the use of M&T funds for the resurfacing of Cherokee Street from Bidwell to Esther and Pawnee Street from Esther to Pleasant.
Second.
Second by Alderman Heberlin.
Make that a motion again on that.
Okay.
We're going and going on.
You've already done the resolution, have you?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a moot motion.
So you want us to vote on it or not?
I don't think
Your
you do.
call. Okay, we'll move on.
Thank you. Next motion I'd like to make would be a motion to approve the quote of $6,560 from Clevenger Contractors Incorporated for furnishing and installing used guardrail on the southeast side of Spresser Street at Briarcliff Road and on the west side of Broadus Road at Langley Road, with half from Ward 2 utility tax money and the remainder from the budget.
Okay, you have a second on that?
Second.
Second by Alderman Voda. Discussion or comment?
And yes, I'd like to also make a change in the actual minutes themselves. failed to miss the fact that the motion carried 4-0 at the end of the motion that was made on your committee minutes.
Okay. Any other comments?
Just a quick comment. Both of these locations we're putting these guardrails on are critical to safety of the public driver. And this, the one on Broadus Road is probably the one that's probably most commonly known to everybody, where we've actually had cars go into that ditch. And this is one of those things we're hoping will help curtail some of those potential issues. The one on Spresser Street, I was approached by one of the residents out there, and I'd noticed it myself. That is actually a guardrail that's going to be put up at the end. If you were to drive off Broadus or Briarcliff Road, there's a big open area there where drainage and tile is, potential of somebody sliding into there, especially in slick roads this winter. So that's something I talked with Mr. Wiseman about. We were able to come up with, Mr. Heberling and I. So I think these are monies that are well spent for the safety of the community.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Brings us to Emergency Services Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The first motion was to allow 2 members of the police department to participate in the Major Crimes Task Force Intergovernmental Mutual Aid Agreement upon approval of the city attorney. I'd like to make that in form of a motion.
Second.
Second, Alderman Heberling. Discussion or comment? Roll call, please.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
There's a motion to allow Police Chief Herb Street to purchase 3 Kenwood P25 portable radios and accessories from Global Technical Systems Incorporated for a total of $4,245. I'd like to make that in form of a motion.
Okay. Get a second on that.
Second.
Alderman Heberling. Discussion or comment? Roll call, please.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz. Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
Next motion was to allow Police Chief Herb Street to purchase 3 Taser X26s and holsters from Tasers International at a cost of $2,709.63. I'd like to make that in the form of a motion.
Get a second on that.
Second.
Alderman Heberling. Discussion or comment? Roll call, please.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
And the last motion was to forward the FY 2014-2015 fire budget to the Finance Committee. I'd like to make that in form of a motion.
Okay, get a second on that.
Second.
Alderman Bud. Discussion or comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Okay, finally, we have a motion to approve and ratify payment of bills in the amount of $348,944.56.
Make that in form of motion, Your Honor, with comment.
A second?
Second, Your Honor.
Okay, Alderman Walters, go ahead with the comment. Alderman Bud.
Okay. Electric for all departments, $17,423.66. Telephone for all departments, $1,086.18. Office supplies for all departments, $1,339.99. Big R, Ace, Walmart, Ron's for miscellaneous supplies, $3,048.23. Garbage, $2,537.50. Larry Berry for all departments, $1,071.87. Blueville Garage for repairs for all departments, $1,496.31. Trico Equipment for all departments, $5,809.43. Altorfer for all departments, $9,382.59. Postage was $1,000. Insurance for all departments, $96,626.14. Healthcare tax, $2,970.19. Attorney fees, $6,000. Green and Bradford, $26,422.67. Aldi sales tax reimbursement, $8,044.10. Workers' comp for May, $26,698. Computer tech for computers and supplies, $4,101.40. Sterling cloudifiers, $1,454. Police and Fire Commission medical exams, $2,167. The 175th celebration, $3,500. Police Department Main Cross auto repairs, $1,116.80. Training is $3,160. Patrick 41 for computers, $1,574. Aaron Technology for manage of software, $3,917. Uniform allowance, $4,729.75. Pages Auto Body for repairs, $1,373.44. Street Department for Cargill for salt, 104 tons, $6,465. Phil Tellis for work at Franklin and Washington Street for repairs, $2,140.20. Bodine Electric for signal light repairs, $23,051.83. Sewer Department for Nina Foundry for grates, $1,616.69. Water Department Chemicals, $22,562.06. Midwest Meter for meters and supplies, $24,913.58. Unique Temporary Help, $1,373.40. Bureau's Auto Body for repairs, $1,482.23. Airport for Albion Radio for maintenance and repairs, $1,357.35. The total of all of these comes to $323,013.24.
Thank you. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Ray Coontz. Mark Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Earl Walters. Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Okay, per subparagraph G of 5 ILCS 120/2.06, this portion of the City Council meeting is reserved for any person wishing to address the council on any relevant subject matters concerning the city. Would anyone like to address the council? Okay, seeing no further items on the agenda, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Alderman Bertle, second by Alderman Heberling. Discussion or comment? Hearing none, all those in favor? Against? Motion passes. Meeting adjourned 7:57 p.m.